Every ballerina down in Gold Crown liked abridging a lot, but Drosselmeyer, who lived in a clock, did not. Drosselmeyer hated abridging, the whole abridging concept, even LK, who he saw as inept. It could be he just loved copyright, it could be, perhaps, that he found the jokes trite, but I think that the most likely reason it could be may have been that it was his story people parodied. But whatever the reason, his work or the world's, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the fangirls. Sipping his tea in his clock, not getting the joke, he flagged all the videos without being provoked. For he knew that every ballerina down in Gold Crown beneath was busy now, awaiting an episode's release.
And they're subscribing to channels,
he snarled with a sneer.
They go to anime conventions just to see the premiere.
Then he growled while the theme song he was nervously humming.
I must find some way to stop the episode from coming.
For tomorrow, he knew, all the painful ballet shoes would run to computers, they'd see the good news. And then, oh the views! Oh the views, 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 views! That's the one thing he hated, the views, 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 views! Then the ballerinas, male and female, would comment their lulls, and they'd lull, and they'd lull, and they'd lull, 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 lull. They'd lull over sex jokes and breaking the fourth wall, which was something Drosselmeyer couldn't stand at all. And then they'd do something he hated to recall. Every ballerina down in Gold Crown, the tall and the small, would dance all together with the abridgers gloating. They'd comment on the episode, and the ballerinas would start quoting. They'd quote, and they'd quote, and they'd quote, 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 quote. And the more Drosselmeyer thought of the ballerina quote, the more Drosselmeyer thought,
It's time that I wrote. Why, for hundreds of years I haven't had hands. I must write the story differently, with my plans.
Then he got an idea, a magical idea. Drosselmeyer got a magical ballerina princess idea.
I know just what to do.
Drosselmeyer laughed all anew, and he made a quick ballerina crown and tutu. And he chuckled and clucked.
What a wonderful spot to introduce a random character into the plot. All I need is a princess.
Drosselmeyer looked around, but since none would fit the costume, there was none to be found. Did that stop Drosselmeyer? No. Drosselmeyer simply said,
If I can't find a princess, I'll make one instead.
So he took his waterfowl duck, then he took a red pendant, and he made her a girl who looked simply resplendent. Then he added more cleavage so the show wouldn't suck, then became a zombie and he sent out Old Duck. Then Drosselmeyer said,
Get up!
And the story began, near the homes where the ballerinas were big abridging fans. All their windows were dark, and the air filled with snow. All the ballerinas had naked dreams about Muto. When he saw the ballet academy below,
Time to creep on, poor duck,
said Drosselmeyer all set, and he lured her from bed, even though alarms hadn't been invented yet. Then he ran through the town in his strange old attire, trying to end the abridgment, that bad Drosselmeyer. And even though he had no reason to hate us, that Drosselmeyer tried to put us on hiatus by stealing the funny bits from the abridged show.
These sex jokes,
he grinned,
are the first thing to go.
Then he slithered and slunk with a big spoiler tag around the whole room, took every running gag. Lesbians and Nazis, the mafia's sass, shipping, allergies, and Duck's perfect ass. And he made the show lame. Then Drosselmeyer darkly created Mary Sues like vampires who are sparkly. Then he slunk to the quote box, made the dialogue crap. He took all the morons. He took the oh snap. He cleaned out the scripts until the good quotes were gone. Why, Drosselmeyer even took the last tutu on. This with just no regard for the fangirl's poor preferences.
And now,
grinned Drosselmeyer,
I will take all the references.
And Drosselmeyer took the references in a way that was craven when he heard a small sound like the caw of a raven. He turned around fast to a face that he knew. Little Mini Rue's debut when she was no more than 2. Drosselmeyer had been caught by this raven's daughter, who'd got out of bed for a sip of cold water. She stared at Drosselmeyer and said,
"Creepy dude, why? Why are you taking our references? Why?"
But you know, that Drosselmeyer was so pervy and old, he thought up a lie, and that's what he told.
Why, my sweet little tot,
the ghostwriter lied.
There's a Michael Jackson joke that's not funny 'cause he died. So I'm rewriting it in my clock so it's good. I'll make it an internet meme so it's funny. Understood?
And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted her head, and he gave her a costume to wear then instead. And when Mini Rue doubled the size of her cup, he took the references even though the costume wouldn't stay up. Then the last thing he took was the series theme song. Then he left the ballet school, for he didn't belong. For the series he left nothing but lines that were wrong. And the one funny joke that he left in the show was a joke that was even too dumb for a crow. Then he did the same thing to the other abridged shows, leaving jokes much too dumb for the other show's crows. It was 1:15 dawn, all the ballerinas still abed, all the fangirls in the world, when the story he read without their lame puns, the trivia, the memes, the songs, and the fan service, the tutu-on team. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount YouTube, he went to dispose of the lulls like some noob.
Pooh-pooh to the tutus,
he was creepishly humming.
They're finding out now that no episode is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. They'll wait for a minute in their painful toe shoes, then the ballerinas down in Golden Crown will all cry, "Boo-hoo!" That's a noise,
grinned Drosselmeyer,
that I simply must hear.
So he paused, and Drosselmeyer put a glove to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started out low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, it sounded like laughter. It couldn't be lulls, but it was laughter. After. He stared down at Golden Crown. Drosselmeyer sipped his tea. Then he shook. What he saw just could not be. Every ballerina down in Gold Crown, the hot and the not, was laughing when there were no running gags to spot.
Abridged series, Christmas specials are the best. Abridged series, affection and parody never rests.
He hadn't stopped the episode from coming. It came! Somehow or another, it came just the same. And Drosselmeyer, with his ballet shoes ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without bad puns. It came without tags. It came without references or old running gags.
And he puzzled 3 hours, sitting there in his clock. Then Drosselmeyer thought of something he'd tried hard to block.
Maybe Christmas,
he thought.
Adel says comes from a store, and abridging, perhaps, means a little bit more.
And what happened then? Well, in Gold Crown they say that Drosselmeyer's sense of humor grew over 9,000 sizes that day. And the minute he realized he hated copyright, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the lulls and the quotes in the nick. And he himself, Drosselmeyer, picked the transformation music.